Good Friday evening. I am certified meteorologist Nick Kelly checking in on this July 12th of 2019. We had to bump the thermometer up a bit today and some of the humidity too, but this weekend got off to a quiet start with a quiet Friday overall. Thankfully, we stay quiet for your Saturday, but going into the extended forecast, not only could we see Tropical Storm Barry play a role in our forecast, but we are eyeing the return of quite a bit of heat and humidity, especially as we go into next week. We'll get to what to expect as we roll along, but let's start with where we've been on this Friday. From this nice-looking time-lapse from indigo sky, just outside of Seneca, Missouri, the casino and resort grounds staying quiet from start to finish all day long. We saw mostly sunny skies to start the time-lapse there. Then we saw a little bit of cloud cover passing through. Hardly any threatening cloud cover, though, so we kept things nice and quiet today. But look at highs over the past 10 days. We really haven't had any oppressive heat, with most days ranging between the upper 80s to lower 90s, but for a good portion of these days, we just had to deal with a lot of humidity as we were trying to dry out and evaporate all the rain that we've been getting. Goodness, you could argue over the past couple months at the very least. But thankfully, these past couple days have been a lot better to us. It was still warm with highs in the mid-80s yesterday, but the humidity was lower. It made for a great afternoon. And today wasn't too bad either, with afternoon highs around 87, just below our average high of 90 degrees. 7th and Range Line late on this Friday night. Traffic moving along just fine. Well, traffic there is still out there with quiet skies up above. We had a high of 87 at Joplin Regional after starting in the mid-60s this morning. Both numbers running a bit below normal for this time of the year, but thankfully no records were anywhere close to being in jeopardy. That record high of 112 set back in 1954 remains intact for another year, as well as that record low of 55 set back in 1975. At the last check at Joplin Regional, we were sitting at 76 with a light east breeze at 3. Humidity starting to pick back up at 79% thanks to that dew point sitting in the upper 60s. That dew point gives you an idea of where temperatures will go as we go throughout the course of the night, but with a little bit of dry air trying to work in as well, I don't think we need to worry about any fog issues as we head through the overnight and certainly to start your Saturday morning out. Everybody's checking in primarily in the mid-70s, some spots in the lower 70s, mainly in northeast Oklahoma, but then you hit 75 in Columbus, Pittsburgh, Lamar, Carthage at 76, Chanute at 77, so still mild, if not a bit on the warm side across the area. But thankfully temperatures, they're not done dropping off just yet. I do anticipate lows dropping back into the upper 60s before we hit sunrise on your Saturday morning. Then we're looking pretty quiet for the day ahead, at least for the rest of the morning. We'll be quickly into the lower 80s by 10 o'clock and pushing to about 85 come lunchtime. The Skywatch Storm Tracker, again, we really didn't have anything to track other than just passing clouds here or there. We do notice a good complex of thunderstorms in southwestern parts of Nebraska working over North Platte and parts of I-80, but that will not be headed our way, so we don't need to worry about that. What we will be keeping an eye on over the next few days in the short term will be this. This is Tropical Storm Barry. The latest 10 o'clock advisory to come from the National Hurricane Center on this Friday night has Barry clocking wind speeds at 65 miles per hour with pressure at 993 millibars. That is quite a strong tropical storm, and there is still a chance with a little bit of weakening shear aloft to prevent the storm from being torn apart along with warm Gulf waters. This could strengthen to a Category 1 hurricane by the time it starts to make landfall in the Louisiana coast by the time we hit 7 o'clock Saturday morning. Then once it begins to really venture over land, it will be on top of Lafayette, Louisiana by 7 o'clock Saturday evening with wind speeds dropping to 60. It'll continue the weekend as it works over Alexandria, Louisiana, Monroe, Louisiana, and as it works into the Louisiana-Arkansas border come Sunday evening, it will be just a tropical depression or the remnants of what will be Barry with sustained wind speeds at 30 miles per hour. Out ahead of this, we could see a little extra moisture from Barry try to clip us on Sunday. That could give us a few thunderstorms. But I think any rain chances with the system looks to really kind of increase or be at their strongest, rather, as we head into Monday and Tuesday, as the remnants of Barry passes over the Ozarks of south central Missouri and eventually passing over St. Louis as we head into your Tuesday evening. Once we get Barry out of the picture, our focus will then shift to the upper ridge out west. You can see the brunt of that ridge centered over the Rocky Mountain Range. Once that starts to shift back our way, that is what will allow the summer heat and humidity to really ramp back into gear. For the rest of the night, though, nothing to worry about. We'll keep things nice and quiet with mostly clear skies. A mild night, but at least we get a chance to cool off from the warmth and humidity today. We'll be dropping out to about 68 with a light east breeze at 5 miles per hour. Light east breeze continues throughout the course of the afternoon with mostly sunny skies to start, then maybe a little more cloud cover with a little bit of extra moisture coming in from Barrie as it works into the lower 48. Despite that, we'll be at 85 by lunchtime, 91 for an afternoon high in Joplin. Everybody should at least be in the lower 90s, if not near 90, for afternoon highs on Saturday. The Future Track wants to try and pop up a few random thunderstorms. I really think that holds up until we head into Sunday. And then, of course, we'll keep an eye on rain chances Monday and Tuesday. It all depends on where Barrie wants to track, so we'll be keeping an eye on that closely as we go through the next several days. But then, once we get Barrie out of the picture after Tuesday, it's all about that upward ridge building back in from the west. As it does, it will be setting up shop over the central and southern plains. That will bring rain chances down to a screeching halt, and definitely will ensure we stay hot and humid for the rest of the coming week. 91 for your Saturday, 90 for Sunday. Morning lows for the rest of the weekend in the upper 60s to near 70. Then we'll be in the middle to upper 80s Monday and Tuesday under the influence of Barrie. Then once we get Barrie out of the picture, there's the heat and humidity waiting for us midweek going into next weekend. Lows in the lower to middle 70s and highs pushing into the mid 90s under partly to mostly sunny skies. Have a good night. Have a great Saturday.